everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Live Your Impressivity TV show. On the week that I'm posting this video, it is Mental Health Week, so I decided to create this video to talk about journaling for your mental health, because it's really an important tool that you can also use anytime when you feel low or when you feel that you have some negative thoughts and you want to deal with them. So keep watching, because I'm going to share with you why journaling is important for your mental health. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please feel free to go ahead and do so and click the notifications bell so that you get notified every time when I post new videos every Tuesday for journaling, meditation, interviews, and dancing. Journaling has been one of the most used tools in psychotherapy, in counseling, and in everything that has to do with our mental health. And across the board, everyone uses it with their patients and with people who come for therapy and counseling, because it is another way of diving deep into our inner world. And for some people, it's not that easy to do the talking therapy. It's much easier to write it down. So perhaps you might have experienced that, or maybe someone that you know in your friends, in your community, might have gone to therapy, and they might have found themselves with the counselor or the therapist saying, hey, why don't you get a piece of paper and a pen and start writing down how you're feeling? From my personal experience, when I went to therapy, I was really lucky because my therapist was giving me exercises to write down from one session to another that literally saved my life, because I started to be more aware about my inner world, about my thoughts, and everything that was giving me anxiety and panic attacks. I talked about the exercise that has literally saved my life, and I shared the video over here so you can go and check it out. And it is about getting more aware about my inner world and my thoughts and what was creating the anxiety and the panic attacks. In short, this exercise talks about the situation and identifying the thoughts and the emotions that are getting generated, because there is a link between our thoughts and our emotions. So the first reason why journaling is important for our mental health is because it gives us more awareness into our inner thoughts. And when we start to be more aware of our inner thoughts, we can shift them into more positive thinking. Another reason why journaling is really important for our mental health is that research shows when we write about our pain, it is much more probable that we heal. And that comes from the fact that when we acknowledge our pain, when we express our emotions and our negative feelings, then we can actually move through them a lot faster. And the fact that instead of pushing aside our fears and our anxieties is more effective, it also becomes a matter of getting to know ourselves better and identifying the patterns, because if we just push aside everything that is negative, then it might just come back at a later moment. So when you write it down, it actually means that you're facing your fears. It means that you are looking in the eyes of the pain, and you know that it will just help you for your mental health, and it will really be healing. When we write things down, it's also creating more space into our minds, because we write it down and it means that we are letting it go. We are releasing something that is inside of us and that is trapped in there. Most of the times it's negative emotions. So when we put it onto paper, it means that we are giving it away to that paper. So in this way, we are supporting our mental space to be decluttered and to really make room for positive emotions to come in, and instead of being taken over by all the negative emotions, that we can put them away, release them onto paper, and welcome some new, positive, joyful experiences. Studies show that mindfulness has been proven to be a really good tool for healing anxiety and depression, and it is really a mindful activity to sit down and write. Why is that? Because when we write, we connect with our feelings, and we connect also with our senses. So it's such a deep connection that it is impossible to get distracted if we're really committed and connected. Therefore, it's important that when you decide to sit down and write, even if it's for 5 minutes, then you are really there and you connect with the pen and paper, you connect to that real moment when you sit down and write. And the reason why you can also use your senses is because then you are really not going to get distracted. So you can have some pleasant music in the background, or you can have some hot beverage so that it enhances your taste buds, and of course some scented candles or anything that can create the beautiful atmosphere and aroma, so that it really makes you surrounded by the most peaceful and calming energy. You can use writing as a mindful activity to activate all of your senses and also to stay connected in the moment. So you can also associate it with breathing, and taking just a few deep breaths before starting to journal will really get you into a much more relaxed space, and it will get you a little bit deeper when you start writing about what is bothering you or anything that is on your mind. Contrary to what you might think, journaling is not just about writing on your negative thoughts and emotions. It's also about writing down all your positive experiences and taking a moment to acknowledge your wins, your victories, and any memories that you might want to keep for your positive thinking. So, for instance, you can journal about the first time when you went traveling, or you can journal about your first kiss, anything that can create that beautiful state of mind and that beautiful state in your body, then you can write about whenever you feel low, so that it supports you into coming back into a very different energy and into a very different space. So connect with that memory or connect with something positive, and you can write about it so that it actually means that you are relieving that experience, and you feel a lot better when you write it down and you go there to make it even more real. Journaling is also very much used when it comes to overcoming a trauma or getting over grief, because it activates again one of those parts of you when you want to just be with yourself and you really want to go there and pour all those negative emotions onto paper. It's a safe space for you to acknowledge and to be aware of everything that's going on, and it's a safe space for you to be vulnerable in case you don't feel the same way when you talk to someone. Therefore, that journal becomes your best friend, it becomes your confidant, and just like Anne Frank says, paper has patience, so you can always just turn to your journal and write there, because your journal is going to be there waiting for you to heal and to support you in your journey of healing. So make sure that you go and write it down whenever you feel that there is something that you need to overcome and that feels overwhelming, so you have your journal that will support you in your healing. Procrastination and the lack of motivation are also very dangerous for our mental health, and in very many cases, especially when it comes to our goals, we can be very easily dragged into our comfort zone. So if we want to go after something that is so much bigger and that we dream about, then we need to keep ourselves inspired and motivated, which is why journaling can be very supportive when it comes to writing down our goals and following through, because when we keep them written on a paper, then we are more accountable and we are more disciplined. We can create routines, we can create the plan and the structure to follow through. We can set milestones, and we can make sure that we go and check, and we always evaluate where we are on our way to our goals. So keeping track of our dreams and our vision is so much more valuable when we use journaling, because it helps us to get over our self-blockage, our self-sabotage, anything that might keep us from accelerating and being effective in our goals and in our vision. So if you want to use journaling for writing down anything that you want to accomplish, then that is also going to support you in overcoming any mental blocks that might prevent you from achieving that goal. So here it is. Journaling is super powerful for your mental health, and it's one of my favorite tools. It has been there for me every single time when I wanted to heal, every single time when I wanted to celebrate, and every single time when I just feel low, or when I don't know what is going on with myself, or when I want to achieve something big and I need to make sure that I just put it down to just get even more excited and to see it becoming reality. So if you haven't tried journaling yet, please do feel free to check my video on how to start journaling, and also go ahead and download my free journaling prompts so that you get started with journaling. Give it a try and see how it feels for you. When you use one of the tools for your mental health, you become stronger, you become fearless, and you become impressive. So I send you lots of love, and I hope that you are going to try out journaling if you haven't been doing so, and you keep writing if you are already a fan of journaling, and I will see you next week with another video. Lots of love.